Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Taylor. I post videos on a weekly basis. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any of those, you can hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit the little bell icon while you're at it so you get notifications every time that I post a new video. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is kind of going back to some basics, although it should actually be helpful too if you have been lifting for a while and just want to make sure that your form's all straight. One of the most common things I hear from people who are thinking about getting into working out is that they are nervous about going into the gym because they don't know how to use the equipment. And let's be real, the squat rack is actually probably the most intimidating part of the gym. From getting your form right to getting the bar loaded properly and onto your back properly, there is so much there as opposed to just picking up a set of dumbbells. But squats are a fantastic thing to do in the gym for a number of reasons. One is that they are a compound movement, which means that they are targeting basically all of your leg muscles, your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes all at once. Because they are a full body movement too, they're also going to help you burn more calories in the gym, so that is a double win. And the squat rack, more so than any other way that you could do squats, is really going to be the only way that you can start pushing your weight higher and higher. For example, I can, like, one of those easy bars, I can maybe on a good day get an 80-pound one up and over to the back of my shoulders. I can squat way more than that, but I can't get the bar up there without a squat rack. So, hence, squat rack's kind of important for improving your leg strength. So, we're going to go into this video and I'm going to kind of give you a very beginner's perspective on how to start doing squats, how to get that form right, what to look for in your squat form, especially if you can get in front of a mirror, and then a couple of progressions to get you ready to get up to a barbell, and finally some tips to think about when you are actually in the squat rack. Alright, so as promised, we are starting with some form cues. When you're first kind of practicing all of this form, it's really important to do it with just body weight. That way you can kind of catch anything before you start putting too much weight on your body and putting yourself at risk of injury. So, things to watch for. First thing is my feet placement. If you notice, my feet are actually only about hip width apart here. You can definitely start to play with that more once you get the basic movement patterns down, but making sure that you can execute the movement with your feet at this hip distance makes sure that there isn't any tightness in your glutes and or hip flexors that can be a source of injury later on when you start lifting heavier weights. Another thing kind of in that line is that my feet are facing forwards and my knees are not turning outwards. So there is technically a squat variation where you do this. It's called a sumo squat. But if you are doing a normal squat and your feet are turning out on their own, it suggests more tightness in those hip flexors and glutes that you really should be working through before you start adding any heavier weights. And here is our first easy progression. This is just adding dumbbells, so it's not a ton of added weight, but will get you used to the idea of carrying a little bit of extra weight on your shoulders when you are squatting. One important thing to watch here is keeping that spine nice and neutral, because the more weight you add, the more stress it will put on your spine, and that can cause pain if you are not keeping that nice neutral spine. Alright, once you are comfortable with the dumbbells, you can move on to an easy bar, which is going to give you kind of the same sensation of a barbell, but is typically a good bit lighter than a barbell, considering easy bars start at around 20 pounds, and the lightest you can get a barbell is the 45-pound Olympic bar. Another thing to watch here is that the motion is being initiated from my hips, not my knees, and so therefore my knees never track in front of my toes. This is going to be really crucial for protecting your ligaments from any sort of joint damage.
Now, once you're comfortable with an easy bar, a next great progression is a Smith machine. This is awesome because the bar stays on a track, so you're not as stressed out about the whole keeping it steady process, but it gets you used to a heavier weight and gets you used to that full barbell feel because you can start adding on heavier weights. All right, and now you are ready to actually progress to a full bar. You obviously do not have to load the bar with as much weight as I have on it right now. Actually, please do not, especially if you were just trying this. That would be bad. Anyways, important things to notice is that when you are loading the bar onto your back, you want to make sure that A, you're not putting it on your neck. It should be more on your traps. Otherwise, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your poor cervical spine that has not done anything to deserve that kind of treatment. Also, make sure that you are kind of keeping up those same form cues even when you are just working on getting the bar off the rack. So, don't do anything wonky with your knees. Don't arch your back. Make sure that form stays nice and even. Then when you are actually doing the super fun squat part, see, my feet are definitely much wider here than they were in my demo, and that is because I have a much heavier weight. So once you are comfortable with that narrow stance squat, you can kind of move out to wider squats like these and just really focus on making sure that that form stays in that exact same lane as I was showing before. So that spine is neutral, those feet are forwards, that movement is initiated with the hips, and this will make sure that you don't accidentally injure yourself while trying to grow a booty.
Alright, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can go ahead and give me a little love in that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week for next week's video. Bye guys.